I'm working on her face details today. And this is one of those days where I paint a little and then I walk away, and then I paint a little more and I walk away. So this is just kind of basing in the lightest color of her eye. And this morning I kind of roughed in with a pencil. I'm going to do some Day of the Dead makeup on her. So I roughed in the nose and the eyes, and I bumped up the shadows around her eyes because I'm going to paint color over the top, and I want the shadows to shine through. I think I have one eye that's smaller than the other. Let's see. Yeah. That's better. While I'm waiting for her eyes to dry, I can work on other things like her nose. So what I'm doing is I'm doing the highlight in blue. Since my black is out and this blue has dried, I'm going to go ahead and do some pupils. I'm starting with the back end of my brush. And I always start small. So I have two colors set up for lips. One is this sort of tangerine orange, and the other one is my favorite red, which is Red Alert. So what I'm going to do is base this in and set it up as the highlight color, and then use the darker red as my shadow. So now I'm adding a little bit of depth to the eye. By going around with a darker blue. I kind of leave a little spot that's not filled in with blue on either side so that it will read as a highlight. I like to do long highlights at the top of the eye, starting in the pupil. And then down here, a couple of dots. So now I'm going to do a little bit of color around her eyes, and I'm using some Anita's acrylics, which are pretty cheap and pretty light on pigment. So right out of the bottle they sort of act as glazes. So I'm doing straight color, not thinned at all. On the places where there are highlights. And a little bit up here. And then I'm going to blend it with a little bit of liquid matte medium and do a glaze over the places where there are shadows. And that will let the shadowing show through the color. So that it doesn't, so that this yellow doesn't flatten out her face. And I'm actually using it to sort of soften those shadows. I made them a little bit bolder than they would be if I were leaving them uncovered. That looks pretty good. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this is one of the reasons that I went ahead and did her eyeliner before I did this painting, was so that I would have a nice dark line to follow. And this also helps me from getting the yellow makeup up against her eye. It took me a while when I was learning to paint eyes before I realized that there's just a little line of bare skin between the eyeball and the eyelashes. And so this makeup comes right up underneath the eyelashes, but I'm still leaving that white line bare, because you wouldn't put makeup all the way up against your eyeball. You'd only put it up as far as your eyelashes. Here. That looks pretty good. So I did a little stenciling on her forehead. I'm sort of wondering if I should have waited until I put in eyebrows before I did that, but too late now. So now I'm going to do some dots. I'm just using a dowel to do this. That was just a brush with water to remove the errant dot. Just want to make sure that it's dry enough for me to do this without bleeding. And I'll clean this up when I do her hair. So, just want to sort of rough this in with a little of my navy blue shadow color. I'm mostly trying to get the same start and stop point, which is right on the inside of her eye. So this one is probably a little bit too far, but this one is good. I usually do this with pens, but I'm going to give it a try with a brush just for fun.